vegetables and eat from all over the world. It's ours to eat. Absolutely. So that's another good way to look at it. When you think about it, you just have to say, okay, I'm going to eat the rainbow, as they say, but why are you eating the rainbow? Because the phytonutrients in the different foods are different. So you get vitamin A and carotene in carrots or any orange vegetable, you'll find some of those same properties. So like butternut squash or pumpkin, those orange foods. Of course, the green foods you have, especially those leafy greens, right? Rainbow, thank you. Rainbow says, I love some okra. Absolutely. So I can't remember if okra has calcium in it. I can't remember the specific nutrients, but that's the nice thing. When you're eating the rainbow, you don't have to count calories. You don't have to worry about, am I feeding my loved ones? Am I being a superfood parent? How am I feeding nope, you don't have to worry about it. You just know that you're already doing great when you actually are consuming whole foods. Let's say if you're a vegetarian, my he's a vegetarian, trying to eat a lot of whole foods, but if they get, and Michelle are over there eating processed and ultra processed foods, you can best believe that's where the sugar is hiding. The sugar is in the processing. It's sort of like a preservative. They know that it appeals to people's palate, and that sugar in most things is what makes you come back for more. So last night,
So one of the things I probably get asked about the most as a daily cannabis user is, when do I take tolerance breaks? How often do I take tolerance breaks? How many days do I take a tolerance break for? And I always reply, tolerance breaks are a scam. I almost never take tolerance breaks. The last time I took one, it wasn't by choice. I was moving from Colorado to Florida. It took me like 8 or 9 days, and I just didn't bring any weed with me because I didn't want to get in trouble. But even through unintentional tolerance breaks, or that one that I experienced when I moved, there's something that I've noticed time and time again from taking days off. Sure, you're going to get high that first time you smoke, but if you just get back into your same smoking routine, you didn't really give your tolerance a break, and by day 2 or 3, you're already at the same level of tolerance that you were when you needed a tolerance break. I do need to mention, everybody's body chemistry is different. Some people benefit from taking a longer time off. Some people's tolerance reset almost every day. THC stores in fat cells, so the higher body fat percentage you have, the more likely it is that the THC stays in your system for longer. So while everybody is different, there is one thing that I noticed, that most people asking about tolerance breaks are simply just smoking too much. They don't need a tolerance break, they need a tolerance fix. Fixing your tolerance is better. Your tolerance isn't just this machine that you run into the ground and then you call a repairman. If you treat it right, it's a well-oiled machine and it'll run every day. I do have a few videos on tolerance, and what I do talk about in those is moderation. Moderation is the biggest tolerance hack. It is the biggest thing that you can do to benefit your tolerance. What I mean by moderation is the more time you spend in between smoking, the higher you get when you do smoke. The biggest issue for most people is wake and baking. Some people want to wake up, smoke weed first thing they do in the morning. A couple hours later, they want to smoke again. An hour later, they want to smoke again. An hour later, they want to smoke again. You can't just get high several times in the day. If your plan is, I'm going to wake up and get high 5 times today, you're not going to get high once. You're going to get medium every single time. You're not really going to get high. But moderating yourself, moderating when you smoke and moderating the amount that you smoke. If you're just smoking a ton, you're obviously going to need a ton to get high. But me, I do most of my smoking on Twitch. I don't do my first hit typically until 9 p.m. Eastern. There are exceptions. I do smoke earlier on Saturdays typically, but I don't do my first hit of the day until 9 p.m. Eastern. Live on Twitch. You should go join me over there. We're probably having a smoke sesh right now. What's up? But when I take that first hit of the day, it hits me so hard. It hits like a fucking Mack truck. I need a moment to catch my breath and let my body feel normal again. That's when I get really, really high. That first hit of the day, that initial rush, there's a difference when you just hit the weed or the dab, and then when it settles in what you feel. But that first hit of the day, bro, oh my God, 10 out of 10. Another reason I think tolerance breaks are a scam, or why people should avoid them or treat it differently, is because most people just get to the point where they're smoking too much weed. They're smoking more and more throughout the day. They're smoking more often. They're trying to smoke every minute of the day, and they're trying to smoke way too much. And then they're like, I'm not getting high anymore. I smoked 17 grams in the last 4 hours, and I'm not getting high. They go from this point of using way too much to quitting cold turkey because they heard they need a 2-week tolerance break, 3-week tolerance break. So they went from smoking way too much to smoking none. And if you've ever done that, if you've ever gone to the point where you're like, oh my God, I could smoke a pound and it's not going to get me high, and then you just stop smoking, it fucking sucks. Everybody